Like older teenagers, I did have an issue with one of them.
You're so special. I just wanna get a hold on. You're so special. I ain't gonna let you go. No.
So she had a sister. It was two sisters, and one was more nicer than the other one. The oldest sister was evil. She was a wicked witch from the West. Okay? She was evil. But anyway, she tried to call herself to bullying me. They had these guys, so they had it for teens. We have like rec, like they had the game, internet, we go in there and do whatever. And she decides that she want to start trying to talk about everybody. And I'm like, she tried to talk about me, she gonna be in for a rude awakening because I got jokes too. And the way you observing, baby, I'm observing you too. Let's go. So she decides she wants to try to mess with me. Honey, I was going back with her. We was battling back and forth, and she seen I was not backing down. I don't care about you being 16, 17. You got me messed up. Baby girl, what you thought? Anyway, so we left it at that. She really didn't mess with me no more because she was like, okay, this girl don't play. She ain't no punk bitch. Okay? She ain't no punk B.I. Okay? So we ended up actually becoming cool. It was a girl that was in there. I think she was like 16, 15. Yeah, she was 16. Her name was Denise. And I was coming from visiting my sister. This is another day. And I seen it was a heavy-set woman in the office. She was heavy set, nice looking, smelled good, looked like money, you know? And I'm like, Denise, she must about to leave because the lady was down there with her. So I go back up like, hey, it's a nice looking heavy set lady downstairs. She smelled good, y'all. I think Denise was going where they was like, yeah, that's her foster parent. I was like, well, she was like, she about to go to a nice house. That lady looked good. And they was like, yeah. So I'm thinking that we gonna be going home to my mama. And I say a few days later, that same woman I saw, they called me down to the office. My sister was already there, and they told me that was gonna be my foster parent. She was like, hi, I'm Miss Miller. You can have the choice of calling me grandmother, mother, or whatever you feel comfortable with calling me. But know that you're going with a loving person. So I left with her. I'm like, okay, well, this might not be so bad. This lady probably rich anyway. I ain't never experienced it really, so let's see what's gonna happen. So we get to her house, and she had a nice house. I actually used to live in across the street from her neighborhood, and I went to school, middle school, with her grandson and her niece. We went to Arlington Woods Middle School in Indianapolis on 30th Street. That was middle school. I was in 6th grade. I think they was in 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade. They were like 2 years older than me. Anyway, so okay. We're staying with her. She introduces me to some more girls that's there. So she had 7 girls. So she had a set of sisters. 2 sisters that she had adopted, and 3 were sisters that was foster kids, but they had been with her for a lengthy time. She had her niece, and then she had Denise. Denise, the one that got picked up from her. Denise was there. I'm like, okay. So anyway, we stayed with her. And let me tell you, that house was busy. So that means she had 7 girls in the house, and this woman was doing her thing, managing these kids, kept us all fresh. We was fly. We went to church. She made sure we was in church, honey. We was involved in things. She had the other girls involved in karate, our Girl Scout, everything. She took care of these kids by herself. She was a single woman. Her kids were grown. And she had grandkids that she helped out with as well. Her grandson, Derek, was known for always having every pair of new Jordans that came out. I knew him from middle school. He would always have those Jordans, and he would always be fresh. So I already had knew, who he was or whatever. So I was loving staying with this woman, And they would have, they scheduled visitation visits at a center. So they no longer did it where it was traditional for the parents to come visit at the foster parent house because of safety reasons. So they had a center where you actually schedule these schedules every week if the parent is authorized service, if they're offered service. So my mother was offered service. So me and the 3 sibling sisters, we would go together because they would see their mother. I would see my mother. And I was really mad at my mother because when she was coming to see us, she was not looking in the best conditions. I'm thinking she's trying to better herself to work on getting us. And in her mind, she thought she was, but she really couldn't handle the fact that we were taken away. And we were actually, this was the second time this happened to her. My mother had 2 additional kids that got taken away from her at a young age. They were first, their father had got custody of them, and he lost them because he did some foul play with them, and they got placed in the system. And the system, the child services tried to offer my mother services. Well, the foster parent that had my sisters basically was allowing my mother to see the kids at her house, unscheduled visits. Her name was Miss Maddie Staten, and she was actually like the foster parent I had. Nice house, had a lot of kids that she was taking care of that was foster kids. And so, you know what? I haven't touched this. I'm so into the story. I don't want to make it so long. But anyway, somebody's told, blew the whistle that this lady was on my mother's sim, and they got placed in Gary, Indiana. But I like their foster parent because she really treated us like family. She treated my mother like it was her daughter. She really wanted my mother to get my sisters back. And I remember spending like Halloween with them, Easter. She had bought me an Easter dress just so I can be with my sisters, and had an Easter basket. She was really nice, a really nice one. But anyway, that's some of of the story about my mother with my older sisters. But so we continue to stay with Miss Miller for a moment. Okay, so my phone had died. I'm recording on my phone. And I was doing so much talking, I really didn't eat, so I had to start eating, y'all. Most of it's gone. My daughter did a really good job. She usually make good nachos anyway. But when I used to go see my mother at the visiting center, she used to really make me mad because my mother was an alcoholic, and she loved drinking Coke 45 beer. That would get her messed up. And the thing, I guess life started being stressful for her. She started dabbling into drugs, crack. I'm not gonna say cocaine because she couldn't afford no coke, but crack. And with the crack, it's mixed with a lot of things. You don't know what they're mixing it with for them to get that product out there and to make a profit off of it. So she started messing with that, but she was dabbling with, like, she really didn't get too addicted. But I think when we got taken away, she did, because she ended up getting in trouble later. But I would go see her, and sometimes she would be like really just not looking good. You could tell that she had been out drinking. She'd come in with a scarf on, glasses on. Just didn't look up to par, like how I knew she could take care of herself. And the crazy thing is, right around the time that we got taken away, my mother used to work for the government. Congresswoman Julia Carson. She used to work for her. It's called the trustee. She was a janitor. And so when she lost that job, and it's because she was an alcoholic, she was drunk at work, everything just started going downhill. And that's when she started trying to do, the labor ready or temp to hire jobs. But anyway, we got a lot of let me talk about that. We got a lot of great opportunities with that. I remember them having like Christmas parties and us actually getting to be with the congresswoman and seeing how she interacts. She got a little bubbly, and we got to go in her office. She was really cool. We met her girl. My youngest sister name was Sparkles. And we actually got to meet one of my mother's co-workers at the event. Her name was Sparkles. Really pretty girl. And actually, Sparkles ended up giving us a ride home after this event. Really nice, humble, pretty young lady. But anyway, so my mother would make me so upset, and I would kind of be like rebellious. Like, I didn't want to sit by her. I really didn't talk to her. And so she finally was like, look, I know you're not happy. What is it? What am I doing? I'm like, I know that you're not working on getting yourself together. She's like, I am. She said, it's just been extremely hard. I have this case going on that I'm trying to get my name clear, so people really don't want to rent to me. And she's like, I still haven't found employment. So she's like, I'm trying my best. And so I was like, okay. So she was like, I still have my housing voucher. They gave me another voucher to go find a house. She wanted us to be in a different area. I think she was trying to move us to the west side of Indianapolis because we had a nice house, but it was in a bad neighborhood, and she didn't want us to keep experiencing that. So when she came back in the town, I found a house. It's really nice. I walked through it. I just visualized us all in there. You're going to love it. It's on the west side, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, good. That's good. Something new for us. So I was looking forward to that. So tax time came, and she was like, what do you want? I'm about to get my taxes. I'm like, I want a new pair of Jordans. And so she was like, okay, I'm going to get them for you. So she called me, and she's like, girl, them Jordans is $150. I was like, you got your tax money, you can get it. And she's like, I know, I'm just saying, like, girl, who pays that much for some shoes? I was like, Mommy, I just want them, please. So when we went to go see her the next time, she came with them J's. Patent Leather Black with the Richmond. I can't think of what series it was, but they were super dope. I kept them J's for a long time. I kept them blood, sweat, and tears in those J's. Like, I'm gonna talk about that later. Blood, sweat, and tears in those J's. Just remember that. So when I start talking about it, I might title it that.
You're so special, something that you can't control, yeah.